And it should be going now. I'm waiting for it to see it on my. Okay, Bill gave us confirmation, so that's amazing. And there it is. Ta-da! We are gold. Thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. It is the Inner Circle Breakthrough Session. And got a couple of things to share with you. Just letting you know, Robert is going to join us very soon. He had an emergency call he had to take care of. But of course, we have Matt here who is going to share with us some really cool things as we get rolling. Okay, hang on just a second. Oh, he's in. Okay, good. I thought oh, I didn't do that. There we go. I have disabled the waiting room. Had to do that. Sorry about that for those of you there. So yeah, first of all, 6,979 subscribers. You guys are awesome. And for that reason, I'd like to ask a favor of you. We're obviously we want this to grow so everybody enjoys what what we have, and that you can share that with other people. I don't know how many of you have seen the shorts that we have posted on when you subscribe to Robert Hollis, you should be able to see those. If you can you like and share those? The reason why we're asking is it helps us to get the word out there so that we can grow our channel even more and get ears to hear. So we thank you so very much for that. And this not only applies to the shorts, but it also applies to all of the AMA, the videos that we produce, the podcast. So if you could help us in that, thank you so very much. It helps get the word out, and we love you and appreciate you for that. We want to also welcome, I don't see him here yet today, but a gentleman who's kind of been part of the family for a while. He kind of stepped away for a bit, but is now come back. His name is Ron Deering. And he is joining the Inner Circle. So if Ron comes on, Ron, welcome. We are so happy to have you on board with us. If you're watching on YouTube, again, thank you so very, very much. We're glad that you're with us and look forward to interacting more and more with you. If you are watching on YouTube and you want to join us in the Zoom so that you can we can go back and forth with each other, we can converse a little more. Very simple. There's a link at the top of the chat. I think is it that way? I don't know. It's one of these ways, wherever your chat is. How's that? It's at the top of the chat. Click there and then click on the link and go right on in. And we will go ahead and have you join us. And if you want to join us, it's great. You can raise your hand. Very simple to do, like Lisa Marie has done. We'll get to her shortly. For those of you that are watching here on Zoom, find the reactions button. It's either at the bottom of the page if your screen is wide enough, or click the more button and then you'll see reactions in the tab. Click on that and then click on raise hand. And that will notify us that you want to share in the Inner Circle. If you're watching on YouTube but you want to ask a question, go right ahead. Type the question in the chat and we will go ahead and ask it on your behalf. You guys are amazing. We have several people who are part of the super chat who have donated, and oh my gosh, Bill Shoemaker, dude, bless you. Thank you so very much. Yeah, definitely appreciate you. Also, shout outs to Melody Ryba and Jerome Marshall for their donations. All of the money that is donated goes to the charities that Robert supports. And we really, really appreciate you for it. Also, shout outs to members of the Inner Circle who are celebrating their monthlies. We got Jerome Marshall, we've got Melody Ryba, and Bill Shoemaker. At least those are the three that I'm seeing in the chat. So just letting you know. Thank you guys for being part of the Inner Circle. Well, actually, thank you everybody for being part of the Inner Circle, because you guys make this happen. Without you, we couldn't do what we do. And so we love you and we do appreciate you. As I had mentioned before, I'm not stalling. Well, I kind of am a little bit. Okay. Robert had to take an emergency call. Everything's fine, but let's just say that his expertise is needed with the company that we're associated with. So, um, in that stead, Matt has a few things that he would like to share.
Yeah, of course.
And Robert will be with us shortly, and then we'll get things rolling. Unless, Lisa, your question is Matt related. Nope.
No,
Okay.
I
So keep that hand up. But we got some things to share with Matt. So our executive producer for the Hollis organization, for the Inner Circle, for the AMAs, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew Hollis.
woo, feels good. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate you. Yeah,
Appreciate you, my
so
friend.
today, I'm just gonna do my best to help you guys out. One of the people that I'm going to go through and help is Lisa Marie today. We're gonna go through her YouTube channel a little bit, if she still wants to do that, and see if we can't pinpoint some stuff that kind of help her out, if there is anything. I know for a fact that you're already doing a good job because you've already been gaining subscribers and been monetized. But before we get into that, even I got a big announcement that happened this morning in the realm of AI, that I have to share with you guys, right? So as things continue to grow, there's certain things that you're going to start to see exponentially grow. Like, we're on that exponential growth curve to the extreme with AI. So everything that was predicted to be months out, years out, is now weeks out sometimes, right? And we're seeing massive amounts of progress from OpenAI and ChatGPT and stuff like that, especially. The big announcement today that they had was, I'll share my screen here so you guys can see, is right here. Do you guys see that? Let me go to the
Yeah, we
top
got
here.
it.
So this morning, OpenAI announced their own text to video model called Sora. Now, Sora, if I've shown you guys before, I've talked at all about the fact that you can make text to video, right? Like, you can type in something and then get a video response from it. That's something that's existed for like about a year and a half in the realm of AI, but it's always had two massive issues. Consistency, so no hallucinations, which a hallucination is like, when you see the person has 6 fingers instead of 5, right? Or something along those lines. Or the video starts to pass 4 seconds or 6 seconds. You'll see an AI video start to get a little wonky, right? Like, things will start to get, eyes will start to move not right, or things will start to get warped. If you guys don't know, OpenAI just asked for $7 trillion. I think that's like the highest any tech company has ever asked for in investments to get us to artificial general intelligence. They're obviously the closest. They're the creators of ChatGPT, GPT-4, and a lot of people already are currently using that, and I've shared quite a bit about that. But this is their announcement from today, and I can't even tell you guys, like, I woke up this morning and saw this, and like my heart skipped a beat, because over the last week, I've been diving in heavily into this specific type of artificial intelligence, to the point where I have it running on my computer. I'm not using any websites. I'm generating videos and stuff and images and stuff all through my own systems here, right? That's how much I'm into it, right? So I was showing Craig, even before we recorded the podcast yesterday, all these webs of lines and everything I have um, going through to generate images and videos inside my computer and talk to the AI that I have now running inside my PC. But this obviously is something anyone could use, right? Because it's OpenAI. So this is Sora. So I'm going to scroll down a minute, and you're going to see here, like I said, there's two big issues: consistency and length. This is an artificial video. This is not real, right? So you're now seeing not only consistent movement, you can look even at her ankles move because she's walking in heels, right? You'll see the prompt that they use down here. I'll link this to everybody here, but there, I'll link it. So the prompt was: a stylish woman walks down a Tokyo street filled with warm, glowing neon and animated city signage. She wears a black leather jacket, long red dress, and black boots, and carries a black purse. She wears sunglasses and red lipstick. She walks confidently and casually. The street is damp and reflective, creating a mirror effect of colorful lights. Many pedestrians walk about. What's so crazy about this, you guys, is that this, like I said, is a 60-second video that's consistent, even with the close cut to her face here. You can see even blemishes on her face. All of this is AI generated based off of what this person wrote right here. So imagine you want to be a content creator on YouTube. Imagine you want to be a content creator in the future, right? How long are shorts? 60 seconds. When this model comes out, you will be able to create anything that your imagination can grab a hold of and have consistency and upload it right onto the internet, right onto whatever you want. And if you keep going through the site with the arrows, you'll see that they have multiple different things. These are two mammoths walking through the snow. This one blew my mind. This is a movie trailer featuring the adventures of a 30-year-old spaceman wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet, blue sky, salt deader, cinematic style, shot in 35 millimeter, which is a frame print that's used in film a lot, vivid colors. And you'll watch with this video just how consistent his eyes are, how consistent the shots are, the faces are, the footprints in the snow. These are things that an AI would have to really, 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 really understand what it's doing here. Like, it has to have watched, and it used YouTube and film and all these things to learn. GPT did. And when I see this, you guys, like when I woke up and saw this today, of course I'm excited about this because I want to make films with it, right? Like the possibilities of this are endless. Here's 3D animation, right? So you can see there, 3D animated character. Here's some fish. This one's crazy. So this is a bird, right? And its head movements are so reactive to a bird that I would not be able to distinguish this if I saw it on the internet from AI. Now I know we're in an election year, so that's a whole nother can of worms, right? That this technology exists now. Here's two ships and a cup of coffee, right? So it's like anything you want. Photorealistic close-up video of two pirate ships battling each other as they sail inside a cup of coffee. That's all this person wrote, and the AI made this whole video, right? So then all you have to do is edit these things together. I love film enough to know that it is very rare and normally specifically decided to do a long take longer than 60 seconds in film. Like, to do a long take where the camera doesn't edit to another shot, right? If you count shots, normally they last sometimes even 6 to 8 seconds, but 10 to 15 is like normal. So to think that with this new technology, you basically could edit together a whole entire film. It's not the point where you could generate a whole film with just a prompt because it's only 60 seconds long, but you can generate a short from a prompt. And so the more you add, like as you saw in the very beginning of this, and this will all be built inside ChatGPT. So you'll be able to communicate with GPT to make this stuff, including changes. But you can see the longer the prompt you have, the more you're going to get. So the fact that this person wrote all of these things, and if you know anything about like AI prompting, or you've played around with it even a little bit, you'd know that you might, even if I was doing this as an image with Midjourney or GPT, right? I might get 2 of these 10 things that I asked for, right? And then the rest, it would just forego and wouldn't put in the video because it's like, I just can't do that, right? I don't know enough. Not GPT, right? So this is all stuff that's here now, you know, like we can't use it yet. It's still, they have a whole entire write-up in here, of course, about security, because like I said, this could be used for election fraud. It could be used for, you could tell a bunch of people that there's people rioting outside and generate all the video for that and put it on the news and people believe you. Because like you really don't have anything anymore to differentiate. And so I knew this would happen. I kind of expected that it would happen maybe by the end of the year, that GPT would get there. But now seeing this footage, you know, this one's reflections in a window of a train traveling through Tokyo suburbs. So not only do you get the shots, but when this girl, when it passes by, darkness, you can see her and everyone else's reflections. Now that blows my mind, right? And to tell it, I want it to be this type of camera or this type of film or this type of shot. It's insane, right? So you have cinematic shots of, you know, any place, right? You have octopuses. So this just blew my mind this morning, seeing this, knowing that this exists. And then my immediate thought afterwards, right? I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, where I always have a problem finding the share screen button. I have too many screens myself. I found it. But why this is crazy. I don't want to get conspiracy like here, right? Because I want everybody to not immediately jump to conclusions like I'm about to do, right? But I do want to share my excitement with you guys. When I see this model, Sora, and I see how much better it is than every other model that exists, there's no doubt in my mind by looking at this that they are running on some form of artificial intelligence that's much better than GPT-4. Much better. And so when I see it consistently have no fuzziness for 60 seconds straight, I go, whatever they have cooking that's going to come out soon in the next couple of months, whatever GPT-5 is, it's going to change everything that we know. Like, the realistic situation here is that everybody that makes commercials now or shoots commercials is out of a job with just this software. And when you're talking about, because think about how long a commercial is, 30 seconds, right? You can generate anything you want. So all the directors that direct music videos or commercials or all of these things are now out of work because of Sora, like this soon, this close. That's not counting what else GPT-5 will be able to do. Like, they've already introduced a lot more memory. If you guys haven't seen this yet, inside of GPT, if you pay for it, you pull it up here. And then I'll go into questions, right? So there's this thing that exists if you go into settings now. And I don't know if it exists for everybody. Maybe it just exists for certain people. But they're rolling out currently right now a switch inside of GPT that's memory based. This is going to be on automatically. But when it rolls out to you, and you have to have GPT Plus for this, when it rolls out to you, GPT will have complete and total memory of your chats to a certain extent, which means it will no longer forget conversations that you've had in other chats. And this mixed with what they came out with already, custom instructions. Custom instructions doesn't even exist in my GPT anymore because this is the next step of that. But basically, the next step is when GPT-5 comes out, right? This is a preface for that. And that's why I said I'm getting into conspiracy here, because I believe it'll come out in the next couple of months. And there's a lot of things that are showing that might be the case. But GPT-5 will have full memory, and it will have the ability to basically remember everything about you, everything you give it, right? And what's so great about that is now, instead of ChatGPT being, hey, here's how I could teach you how to do stuff with ChatGPT. That's true, that still will exist, but you'll be able to have conversations with GPT, and it will learn so much about you that it will learn exactly what you need in specific. It'll learn how to talk to you. It will learn how to, so those video generations I just showed you, right? Imagine the big bottleneck right now is you see that prompt and you go, I don't know how the hell to do that. Like, how do you write something? I'm not a filmmaker. I don't write books or novels. How do you write something in that way to get what you want, right? How do I envision it, but then put it into words to get what I want out of an AI, right? And that's a big bottleneck too for a lot of people that want to learn how to make stuff with AIs. It's like, the more you go down the rabbit hole of that, the more complex it's going to get, where you're now like drawing technical code and things like that to try to get it to do what you want. GPT-5 you'll be able to ask it to make a video, and it will be able to do it, and it will know how to do it based off of the language you speak or the way that you talk. because it will have learned how you communicate over time through all of those chats, and it'll learn how to talk to you in specific. So, yeah, I don't know if it'll be able to do previous chats. That would be really interesting. I'm sure when GPT-5 comes out, you'll have the ability to like click a button to allow it to do that, because it's just knowledge that it can learn off of, right? As long as it's still there. And I believe it saves most people's chats for 30 days before it deletes them right now. But so I just wanted to share that with you guys, because it blows my mind that as people that are moving towards a new, like, modern AI society where all the different things are going and moving, I want to continue to lean into, what do you guys want to do? What do you want to accomplish? Great. The fucking tools are being invented and exist day by day for you to do those things, right? So any idea that you've had, I saw someone make a Super Bowl ad not too long, or right before the Super Bowl, with the AI tools that I use. And I was like, this is better than most of the stuff I've seen, I watched in the Super Bowl. And then I looked at this today and I go, yeah, none of the commercials next year are going to be shot by anybody, right? So we're just going to watch the Super Bowl and it will just be commercial of commercial, and all of them will be AI generated, because this is where the software is. This is where the technology is right now in February. February of next year, it's going to be generating whole entire films. Like you'll be able to write a whole script, feed it into GPT, and have all your shots, have all your scenes, the way that you want it to look. You can even give it certain movie references of the ways that you want it to look, and it will generate you the whole entire movie of your dreams that you've wanted to watch your whole life, that you maybe wrote and never could get made, or whatever. Maybe you wanted to. Here's a big thing that people are going to have to deal with. Maybe you watched the new Star Wars movies and didn't like them. Maybe they sucked, right? But you love Star Wars. Well, guess what? In the future, there's going to be a lot of people making very good Star Wars movies. So if you like certain things, or maybe you watch Star Trek, or maybe there's something that you grew up with that doesn't exist anymore, and you want to reminisce about that or feel nostalgic about that, maybe you want one more episode of Gilligan's Island, right? You can have that. And we're not that far away from that, right? And so I wanted to preface that by saying, when I say conspiracy stuff, like it might happen soon, I say that lightly, because this technology is going to get a lot of people, like, there's going to be a lot of people riled up on the opposite side of this technology, because it's going to be taking a lot of people's work. It's going to be taking a lot of people's jobs. It's going to be there's people that are spending $100,000 right now for a degree that's going to be worthless in 3 months. And if they don't wipe that debt away, then they're just going to be helpless with debt, right? They're not going to be able to pay it because they don't even have a job. If you're in visual effects right now, which is something I've enjoyed dabbling in my whole life, visual effects is over, like there's so many things that are going to change with this technology. And I just want you guys to know that I am doing my best in supporting you guys here with the abilities I have to share and keep you guys like ahead of that curve. Like I said, that exponential growth is gaining and gaining every single day. And when I see this technology, I'm like, the moment people get to use it, it's going to exponentially grow, because now it's training off its own data of what people are making. And you're going, that was great, or that wasn't great. Just like when you ask GPT right now and it goes, was my response good or bad? Right? And you're like, that was a good response, GPT. And it's like, great, it's learning, right? Having a model that can generate video is one thing. Having a model that has the ability to learn and think, do those things, is just, it's science fiction. It's something that we all possibly thought wouldn't exist in our lifetime. So it's like, okay, having a conversation with an AI robot that then can tell you, hey, listen, are you bored? Why don't we just listen to this style of music? I've made you a new album in that style. It knows exactly what you want, right? It knows exactly what you like. Or you're dealing with, I love going in these hypotheticals, but you're dealing with massive amounts of anxiety, right? And here is something that knows how you deal with anxiety and is there to help you and guide you in a way of getting better with it that didn't exist before. And to think that every single child that grows up past this point, past this year, will realistically have their own tutor and their own support network in an AI for the rest of their lives. Like, it's just as connected as we are to these phones, right? And how integrated they are with everything we do is how our children, grandchildren, and great grandchildren will be integrated with artificial intelligence. So for them, it won't be any different. For us, we get to be on that curve and go, what the hell is happening, right? And so we're in that situation now. Yeah, customer service is done as well. Like, that was something which I think all of us, other than the people that work in it, were excited to have AI take over. Because I've been on customer service lines with people that maybe had a bad day before they got to work, and they made my day a lot worse, you know? And to think that, like I said, with the tutor aspect, there's teachers that don't know how to teach to every single style of student. That's not going to exist after this year. So, and kids in, like I've said this before, kids in Kenya will have the same level of education that kids in the United States have. So there won't be, you're going to see a mass amount of creativity in the human race, and you're going to see a mass amount of new ideas, because the barriers that some people maybe were putting on others to not allow them to grow won't exist anymore. And people are fucking scared that those barriers won't exist. Because in my mind, there's been whole industries because of capitalism. There's been whole industries that exist of leeches, I would say. These are people that feed off of creative people or off of smart people because maybe they just don't have the confidence to do it themselves, right? So there's people out there, maybe you write a book, but you sign the wrong fucking contract, and the book becomes a bestseller and you make barely anything off of it, but the publisher makes all the money off of it. Darn, you should have thought a lot better. Well, I'm not a business person, so I just was excited that I get to make a book, right? And I get to publish something. But, and this in the music industry is really bad, right? Or in the film industry is really bad. You know, before even actors caught on to it and did strikes, they were having actors show up brand new and signing away their AI rights to their personality and persona just as they started in Hollywood. So now the studios are like, oh no, if you ever get big, we'll just own the rights to you, right? And they were like, hell no. And that's when they went, we need to do the writers block and actors strike and things like that, right? So those barriers are getting knocked down, and those leeches are going to become very upset and try their best to ruin this opportunity for everybody else, right? Because the money is not going to be having to be funneled through them anymore, right? So people are going to make whole YouTube channels of television shows that they've made that are going to get millions of views, just like they do now, just like YouTubers do now. And there is nothing stopping you from making a full-time income in the future off your ideas and your creative endeavors, because there's not going to be someone that tells you you can't create that, or that can't exist, or that story isn't, it's too niche, right? So you're going to get people's stories too that that never saw the light of day, right? You're going to get books that never have been made into films that someone's going to make into a film that will impact millions of people, about people's stories. You know, like I've seen and read some of these books of people's life stories, and you go, how is this not a film? It's like, well, you know, it didn't get in front of the right people to go, I could make enough money off of this, or I could win an Oscar off of this. And once those barriers don't exist, I'm just so excited, not just for myself. Like, obviously, there's a lot of selfishness involved in seeing these tools, but I'm so excited for all of us, right? Yeah, I can turn my children's book into a cartoon. Absolutely, Melody. You could do that. And make a full-time living off YouTube doing it, because advertisers are coming to you now. They're not coming to NBC and going, let's write up a deal, and then you can decide how much to pass it to somebody else, to the person that made it or did all the work. It's like, no, all the merchandise, all the things you will have, that's all yours, right? And then if you get in a situation where you go, I don't know what to do next, like I'm not a business person, you only have the strongest artificial intelligence tool at your disposal to teach you how to do that. You don't got to go to college for business anymore. You don't have to go through this process of figuring it out. It's like, how do I set up an LLC, right? Because now I need to do my taxes the right way because I'm making all this money from YouTube from the stuff I've been creating. Okay, go onto GPT, ask how to make an LLC. It'll take you through every single step of the process in your state, what paperwork you need to do. It'll help you file the paperwork out. In the future, it probably will write the paperwork for you, send it in. But we're not there yet, but it will get there, right? So thank you guys for coming to my TED Talk. Thanks for listening to me. But we can open it up for questions now, Craig. I just wanted to share because I'm excited, of course. So
Yeah, I mean, you did say you wanted to work with Lisa Marie on something, but
yeah,
let me ask before we get started with her, John, Jerome, and Sandy. I just wanted to clear up. Do you want to talk with Matt? Just put your hands up like this on the screen. Okay, good. Well, guess what, Matt? It's your
this is
show.
my inner
Hey,
circle
Santa
now.
Corky.
No, I'm just kidding.
What is that? You want to talk with Matt as well? All right, I'll put you in the queue. So, all right.
Thank you guys.
So, yeah, you got a few people, Matt, that are wanting to chat with you, and I got the order here. So, Lisa Marie, go ahead, unmute, and share with us, will you please?
Wow, Matthew. Holy cow.
I know, right? I'm
This
excited
is,
too.
yeah,
So,
this is
you know,
really exciting.
yeah, I was saying it's like just 1 or 2 weeks ago. Um, 1 or 2 weeks ago, I was sharing in video with you guys where I was like, you can write a prompt and it will find all this stock footage, right? And put it in there and it will write the whole script with the voiceover. They actually just came out with something today where you can train it on your own voice, and now the voiceover on the videos will be you. So that's cool if you guys are using that tool. But like I said, we're going towards a place that that tool won't even be necessary, right? Anything you can kind of
Right.
dream up, you can make, which is so cool because I saw Corky say, we're writing a book now with a short film. Even if you wanted to write a book, you
Right.
could put together a trailer for it, like, and there's so many different avenues now with GPT to help you write a book. There was actually a book in Japan that won an award that was used, AI was used in the process of writing the book. So I didn't think it would happen this quick because there's like a lot of people that are anti-AI. They're like, this is the death of human creativity. In my opinion, if it's just go a generation back and it was the computer that was the death of human creativity. Okay, you don't have to write with a pencil anymore or draw with a pencil. You're drawing on a digital screen and it's doing a lot of the line work for you now. Now you have perfect circles. That's insane. I don't think that should exist, right? And there were people saying that. They're like, computer animation, it's not hand-drawn animation. That's not creativity. And then you go back even further and it's like, okay, you could paint, but you didn't make the paint yourself. So that's not creativity. You didn't go out and mix the paints yourself. You bought them at Hobby Lobby. So that's not true creativity. So it's like, in my mind, every single time someone says that to you about AI, just shrug it off and go, just another person, right? That sees something and goes, I want things to stay the way that they were, right? And you're going to have people that have more opportunity than ever. And why would you want to rob people of that? The cool thing about this technology too is that it runs on the internet. So the more that the internet spreads across the world, anyone's going to be able to use it. It doesn't require a big, like, beefy computer to do, right? You don't need a whole setup to run it. I've seen people edit things together, shorts together with AI footage, like AI little trailers on their phones using CapCut and artificial intelligence to just render stuff, right? So very cool, very exciting stuff. I don't know. I think my light just ran out of juice. So I'm not going to plug it in. I'll just leave it for now.
You look fine.
Thanks, Craig. But we can go into it, Lisa Marie, if you had any questions about what I showed as well.
Well, I do a little bit,
yeah, please ask.
But there's many people behind me, so I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible. But
Well, how about this?
Cow.
Let me ask you this quick. Do you have time to be on here for a bit?
Absolutely. Whatever you are, I am.
So I'm gonna try to not take too long answering questions here. Would you be okay if we left all the YouTube stuff till the end and then I answered everyone's questions and then did that at the end?
I was going
Perfect.
to suggest that, but that's perfect.
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. That works out. So we'll do that. So do you have any questions about what I showed or anything else? I think you
She
muted
just
yourself
muted
there.
herself. All right, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, Craig. Yeah, I was shutting up and then yeah, a couple of things. First of all, the that video that you originally did with us and showing us the software and this and that, is there
Mhm.
anything through that video that you are no longer messing with? Are we moving forward?
I'm no longer using Vizard, but that has nothing to do with us not using it. Craig now is the one that's taken that over. So he's the one that's been doing all of our shorts lately.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. And
yeah,
and
because
that's the
it's
one that I have been using the most.
and they've only made it better. Like Craig's now doing things with it that I didn't have, with the
Okay.
emojis and everything like that, right? Like that, none of that stuff existed when I was playing with it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Vizard
Okay.
is consistently improving itself, and I know Matt is like 3 or 4 steps ahead of us. But for where
trying to
we
be.
are, yeah, well, you're doing a damn good job of it, my friend.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's still a valuable tool, and I'm going to say it in this way, Lisa, at this time,
Yeah, because
because
that's
with the
the
way that
thing.
everything is going, it's just going to it's exploding, as you can see.
Right. My questions are getting obsolete as we go, even right now. You know what I mean?
Hey, so are
Because,
mine too in these situations because like I said, the last few days I've been working on doing like an animated farmer video, right? Like we want to take these characters and make little animated shorts about them. So I've been trying to go around that, and then like I said, the consistency part sucks. So what I end up doing is then putting it on my computer so then I can train it on a specific character's face and look so I can get a consistency with what I have generating. And then
right,
this comes out and I'm like, maybe I should just wait. And I can tell you
right.
guys that happens like every couple weeks where
Okay.
you can ask Craig, I've been working on a farmer short of a mix of AI and actual animation now for probably 4 or 5 months. And every single time I like get closer and closer to getting all the scenes out, then a new revolution happens that would make it exponentially better. And then I have to start over because in my mind, I want it to be the best that it can be for you guys and for everyone else.
Right.
So yeah, I
I
get it.
feel
I
like
agree.
I feel like I'm kind of here to make all the mistakes of the group, or so it seems, because I get ahead of myself and I end up flopping every time. But that's
You're
exactly
you're
what I,
not you're not though,
No,
because like in those situations, you're always constantly learning something new. And it's not the important part is that you try and you learn, not whether you fail. Like because
right.
with anything like that, if you see everything in life as just a learning process, and I said this on one of the podcasts, if instead of looking for the puzzle pieces out in the world or the puzzles that you fit in, look at the puzzle inside of yourself and find what pieces fit inside you. You're not going through life right now trying to figure out what the world wants from you. What you're doing, Lisa Marie, is going through the world figuring out what you want from it. That's what you're doing. And you're
Yeah.
going, this is what I want. This is what I want. This was what makes me excited, what makes life worth living.
Right.
And it's totally fine to keep asking questions and keep making mistakes.
Hmm.
I make mistakes every single day. I used to let them get me down a lot more, but now I just see everything so much as a process, right?
Hmm.
Like the perfectionist in me and Craig have had great talks about this because we're both perfectionists, right? Like
Hmm.
I'd edit a video for months before I released it, right? Because it would need to be exactly where it is. But the process of the way YouTube works doesn't favor that always. So
Right.
I have to let go of some of my perfectionism. But then guess what? You realize just like with things with anxiety, it was all in my mind, right? Like none of that stuff existed. No one, I get messages more now from people going, hey, that was great. And it's like,
Hmm.
oh, it could have been better. Yeah, it could have been, but they thought it was great. So like, why am I beating myself up about it? So,
You know that I made a trailer for my YouTube channel, and what my initial vision was with Buddy's
mhm.
Place, and it was animated. partial
Perfect.
animation, and I got to tell you, I didn't have an imagination before, or I wasn't letting myself get there, or whatever.
Hmm.
But I got to tell you, it's once it starts, I don't know if it's the Delta 8 or what, but my imagination is much better.
That does sometimes have something to do with it, because anything with like anything related to those types of things, like you'll hear people like Ernest Hemingway was an alcoholic, right? Or you'll hear a lot of these really big writers were like alcoholics. It's
Hmm.
because they couldn't get past that part of their mind that doubted who they were and what they were doing,
Right,
being
right.
creative. And the
Yeah.
process to get out of that for them, they had trained their brain was alcohol. And so
Oh,
if you I'm not saying Delta 8s are bad, because we're not dealing with alcohol here. I use that as an
right.
example because I'm going to use a positive one now. If any of you guys have watched the documentary Get Back with the Beatles, how many great, incredible albums and songs do you think we've gotten from the Beatles because of marijuana and all these other psychoactive things, right? Because it made them,
Acid, yeah.
yeah, it made them not just believe in themselves in those situations. And now we're starting to use those drugs and therapies with military veterans and all other types of things, right? We're finding that these may be the cures to a lot of these things, not medication, although medication helps.
Right.
Um, but there's so many. I'm gonna go off on I was going off on a tangent. I'll just
This is,
answer your question. As you
yeah.
guys can tell, I'm similar to my dad in that way, where like my mind goes,
Okay.
but I'm like, I don't have a lot of time. I have to be out
Okay.
of here in an hour and a half. So I
Okay.
want to answer everyone's
I'm
questions
gonna
that they have for
stop.
me.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop, let the other guys go, and then if we have time, otherwise we'll do it a different day. I'm good.
Well,
You
if
shared
we,
a lot today that is going to help dramatically. Now, do you know that I want to make sure that I'm in the right chat. I am through you guys. Do you have a record of that someplace, Matt?
right, Chad, in what way?
Um, Going off of Robert's link or your link, whatever, that page that you shared with all of us.
If you guys end up sharing anything and there's not affiliate links or anything, if that's what you're talking about,
Well, I wanted to
um,
make sure that I was with,
Are you
no,
talking about
I
the
don't.
GPT, Lisa
yeah,
Marie?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Anything you guys want to share from us, even if it's not like our affiliate link or anything, I don't mind. Like it doesn't bother me at all. I want these tools to get out to as many people as possible so we can inspire as many people as possible. Because I
Okay.
think there's a lot of people right now that are like lost in what they're going to do in the future, especially as a lot of the monotonous jobs get taken, like customer service and stuff. I don't think anyone grew up going, I want to work in customer service, right? That's my dream. A lot of people grew up going, I want to write a book, or I want to make a movie, or I would love to make an animated short or something like that, right? Like, and I love what you said, Lisa Marie, about it inspiring your creativity, because where I was going with that whole point is I've heard that from a lot of people. And believe it or not, if you talk to someone, like if you read Walt Disney's book about his life, or you talk to some of these A++ creative people, right? Like they just were creative in every area they stepped into, right?
Mm-hmm.
You learn very quickly that the thing that they talk about a lot is not getting rid of your childhood imagination. And
Right.
all that's going to happen when these tools come out is a lot of people, myself, you, a lot of people here included, will be reminded of that childhood creativity again.
Mhm. I
Because you'll
feel
sit
that. So
there
that's
and
exciting.
no one has to see it but you too. You only have to share the stuff you want. So if you sat down
Right.
and made something that just you wanted to see, no one else has to see it, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's great. So
I'm
yeah,
super excited, but I'm going to
me
shut up
too,
for
me too.
now. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Lisa Marie.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa Marie, and just keep going, keep going. If I may just add one other quick thing, Lisa Marie,
Please.
and I know Robert always shares it. How many times did it take Thomas Edison to find the light bulb, to invent it? That's where you're at right now. Okay, so your light bulb is sitting out there. Your buddy's place is sitting out there. We're getting to it.
Yeah, you
Um,
guys are just accumulating the tools right now that are going to
mhm.
make things easier. Like I've said this about network marketing, but I think network marketing in a lot of the business models that I've seen, one thing I really like about network marketing is I think it forces you to develop yourself as a person. And there's not a lot of jobs or a lot of areas that you actually have to do personal development or work on your communication skills to succeed, right? Or work on your leadership skills, or work on building a team or a group. Like, most people have to be a manager to get to that point. And let's be honest, not a lot of people in those roles sometimes deserve to be there. So it's like, we've all dealt with managers of people and you're like, how did that happen? Like, I don't understand. Are you like married to somebody or someone's kid, or so you're like, you're not managing anybody. So anyway, we can move on to the next person, Craig.
Okay, sounds good. And just before we do, Matt, is it I think I had the link up that you shared. It's the one that's the SEO wizard that
Yes.
Lisa was
Oh,
talking about.
is that the one you were talking about? Here,
I
I'm
think
gonna
that's the
share.
one
I'll
where
share
she
that.
said, "Yeah, share that." I think now I have that, but yeah, that's the one that I have.
This is the one, you guys, that you can grab, that allows you to this is the one that I shared like a week back or so. This is the one that allows you to get SEO titles based off emotions for your videos and your posts and your things. So like, if I said I want to get a description for flaws, just because Corky's on here.
Why claws? Sorry, Corky, just had to do that.
But yeah, see, so this GPT has the ability not just to give you the keywords for the video that you want to make, right? So Santa Corky, if you wanted to make a video about giving presents to children, right, in need, which sounds right up your alley, here's some keywords to target. And then here's the emotional strategy of titles. So if you wanted to go for curiosity, Santa's secret mission, gifts for the unsung heroes, fear of missing out, don't miss out, Santa's heartwarming journey to bring joy to children in need, hedonism, so happiness, the joy of giving, Santa's ultimate surprise for deserving kids. And see, like, you'd try a bunch of these, but this gives people the opportunity. Maybe you don't know what to title your content, or you don't know where to target it. This GPT, if you just click on the link in chat, will allow you to ask it about any video you want to make and keep going, and it will keep giving you ideas on names or angles, right? So then you can go, okay, hey, this video, I want to spark curiosity in my video. So then I'm going to go in this direction. So it just makes certain things easier, and it's somewhat free. So it's better than some of the other tools if some of you guys don't have vidIQ or some of those other things that cost money.
Wow. So. This is amazing. We are experiencing a revolution here. And speaking of which, we kind of talk about that in our podcast that'll be airing tomorrow.
Yep.
So we look forward to sharing that with each and every one of you. It was a very, very good chat, and I hope that you really get a good idea on what it is that we're going after. Just shifting your paradigm. And that is exactly what we're bringing up here, shifting your paradigm. So, all right, let's keep moving forward. I've got Santa Corky, Sandy Baker, Jerome Marshall. But first, before those people, please welcome John Tier. John, open up and please share.
How's it going, John?
All right. Wow. This technology that you just showed was something that I used to think about years and years ago. What I used to say, man, I wish I had something that would be so easy to do to create this. And I've already saw in my mind with this was now the MTV GPT Awards. You know,
it's gonna happen
because that's where that's going. Because as a musician, you know, you create songs and you want to create videos. And I always had these grand ideas about videos that I don't have the money to do. I said, well, I'll get the money, I'll create that. But now with this technology, oh my goodness, the types of, I mean, the visions that I have for certain songs, I was like, oh, so that means I don't have to go out and hire all these people to do what I want to do I?
Exactly. Yeah. The vision transition to reality now is that barrier is getting smaller and smaller. And I love the idea of what you're talking about, because there's so many art forms that I feel like certain people miss out on because they're unwilling to go into there. And so it's like, I remember when La La Land came out, right? You
Hmm.
guys have seen La La Land. La La Land came out, and there was because that movie was popular with a bunch of young people, there was a resurgence in jazz music and people wanting to learn jazz because they had watched that movie and went, this music's actually really beautiful and I want to learn how to do this. I want to. And so those people wouldn't have maybe ever thought about making jazz music or joining a jazz band if they hadn't seen that movie. And I think
Hmm.
that's the same with music videos sometimes. Is like someone will see a music video and they'll go, man, I would love to play an instrument like that. That hit me like here, right? But they're not going to like find the specific song to listen to it because maybe it's not in their niche of
Right.
music.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah. So I just I love this technology. That and the other thing about the SEO, when I was doing videos before, I used to have to sit down and write out about 10 titles, to try
I
to
know
figure out
it.
one that would be the best one to use. And now you've got, where you just type in what you want and it'll just start generating exactly, depending on what kind of emotion you're trying to create. I mean, this
Yeah.
is really, really, really great technology. I mean, this is, you know,
I you gotta be pretty good to ask for $7 trillion and people aren't really batting an eye at you for asking that much.
right.
I think when there's certain technology fields that exist that like even Google announced Gemini 1.5, which is like their GPT this morning or yesterday.
Mhm.
And this Sora announcement has like overshadowed that, of course, but maybe that was by design. But
We will only
the
be limited by our imaginations.
right. And we're getting to that point. I mean, even with music, there's AIs that exist, right? Where maybe you only play one instrument, right? But
Yeah.
you want to make something, but you can't afford to hire a whole band. Now you have every instrument and other instrument at that disposal. As long as you can write the music, you'll be able to play it.
Yeah, I
So
mean I do that now as a keyboard player. I've got all kinds of things that I can do. I don't have to hire
right.
anybody to do anything because I create sounds and all of that. The one technology that I did grab on that I thought was really nice. It's an AI generated program, something that's called Drum Monkey.
Yeah,
And have you seen that before?
I
Drum
have.
Monkey?
Yeah, there's certain things where I've like dabbled on
Yeah,
with AI
yeah.
with music because that's something else that I don't know. All of my favorite films and things normally have a great score
Hmm.
behind it that
Right,
elicits the feelings that you want. I think of
right,
Lord of the
right.
Rings and things like that.
Because
It's like
that
I can
thing
hear
there,
the
man, is
music.
it's awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. Did you have
Yeah.
any other
So,
questions, John?
but that was it. That's all I wanted. I just had a comment. That's all.
Well, thank you for sharing. I'm excited to see what you make too, because what's going to happen over this year, guys in the inner circle, is we're going to watch these technologies come out. I'm going to share how to use them because I'm going to be using them myself. And then we're going to get on these things and we're going to be like, what'd you guys create this week? Let's
Right,
do a
right,
little
right, right, right,
run and see what people made. So I'm
right.
excited for that. That's going to be a
So,
lot of
so,
fun.
so one quick question. So, will you
Sure.
be able to edit? Let's say it's like you have something that's like longer than 60 seconds. Will you be able to like edit those things together with that
Yeah.
technology you just
No,
showed?
of course. Of course. Any of those clips you'll be able to download and put into any editing software. If you don't have one, there's CapCut, which is free,
Right,
um, on your phone too. And yeah, but like I said, in the future, GPT will be able to do that.
right,
So what will end up happening is it will generate the clips and then you can just tell it to put all the clips together and it will.
right.
But like I said, the future will be more of a communication, and this is why it's so important to learn how to communicate, because the future isn't us using computers and tools. The future is us communicating with something else that's doing that. And
Yeah.
that's the barrier that will no longer exist for everybody. So I'm excited for that because as someone who's taught SEO, advertising and marketing on digital marketing,
Hmm.
web design, all these different things.
Right, right.
I cannot wait for web design to be done because the amount of courses and the amount of things
Yes.
I've taught over the decade or so of my career on that, and then had to remake videos because it changed a month later.
Yep, yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
So
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it,
thank
man.
you.
Wow,
Thanks,
that's
John.
awesome.
Appreciate you.
John, thank you so very much. All right, let's see. Who's next on the list is Jerome Marshall. There you go, sir. Unmute yourself and please share.
Hey, what's up, Craig? What's up, Matthew? I
Hello,
confess.
hello.
What's up, Inner Circle people? Hey, just a couple of quick questions. So I think you answered it already, but as far as with this, the new OpenAI music videos is going to be easier to make that. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Yeah. So imagine you had an idea, and Kanye West just did this. It wasn't a good representation of AI, but for his song Vultures, the whole music video was AI made, right? I mean, you can clearly tell when you watch it, but in the future, absolutely. Yeah, you'll be able to make music videos. Like I said, there's going to be artists, and this is the dream, you guys. This is my dream, right? Because I want to have a family and I want to be around my children and be a part of their lives. And wanting to be a film director and that don't mix, because you're gone for 3 or 4 months, not even counting the other sides of production. That's just shooting sometimes. So you're away from your family, and I just never wanted to pursue it in that way, because I want a life that's balanced in that way. Now we're looking at a future, Jerome, where you're sitting in your house, I'm sitting in my house, in our offices. We could be working on something together across whole state lines, or we could be working on something just by ourselves, upload that onto the internet, make tons of money, or have huge impact. And we didn't leave our house. We still live in the same area. We still go to the same restaurants that we love or that we enjoy. You don't have to move all the way to LA anymore to make things. So it's going to be huge. I can't wait.
It takes a whole computer programming up 100 notches, because I when I left high school and went to college, I taught. I mean, I didn't not taught, but I took about 3 or 4 computer programming courses, and I'm talking about with the codes and everything. It was,
yeah.
So this thing, it takes things to a whole nother level. So my other question, real quick, is do you think it's going to be AI is going to help cure a lot of diseases and stuff? Help doctors cure?
Absolutely. So that's actually one of those things that I think is they're right next to personal AI this year and next year. So if I had to guess what AI would do over the next 3 years, I could guess pretty confidently that it will cure diseases that have never been cured before. It will give you the opportunity to do the things creatively that you want. And it also will eliminate the barriers between people, because what it's going to end up doing as well is teaching us how to actually communicate with each other again. You know? Because believe it or not, social media is so non-communicative. We consume it more than we communicate with it. As we're with AI in the future, you're having a conversation with it. So then having a conversation with someone else is just as simple as having it with an AI, right? It doesn't really change that much. So
yeah.
But as far as diseases go, it's already pushing ahead in that area, because I've shared before. Imagine you're trying to come up with a cure for cancer, right? Or a specific type of cancer, because every cancer is different. You're trying to come up with a cure for cancer. Your bottleneck is 2 things: data and people. Now, people, that one's been getting less and less, because computers now can look at the data, but then you have to find all the data. Now, before the internet, data was in each hospital, right? And they would have to share it through paperwork or through other things. Then the internet existed, blew up, allowed them to share it. So now if you go to a hospital in a different state, they can pull up your medical information, right? So they don't mess anything up. We're getting now to the point where that personal GPT will eventually be able to communicate with you on health things and get stuff well ahead of time. Like, for a while, there was this technology that this lady used to like steal billions of dollars, where the book was written off of it, called Bad Blood. But you'd prick your finger and you'd put it into this thing, and it would tell
Right.
you if there was anything wrong with you. We will have that technology. It will just be an AI that will do it.
Yeah. Sorry.
No problem.
We,
So things
I
like
love Texas, but we get a lot of Amber alerts. Anyway, that's what messed me up. Sorry.
Oh, no
But
problem.
my last question real quick is, so the chat GPT, the advanced one, and then the open AI, do you think that's a good combination to go off of to make your shorts and all that kind of stuff? Or
yeah, so basically so chat
the SEO?
GPT, yeah, chat GPT I use every single day. I don't not use it ever for titles and SEO. I actually was going to go over really quick with you guys, right? Just something really quick so you can see, because I was sharing this with Craig yesterday. And I think it would benefit all of you guys. So can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, we got it.
So this is just one of the shorts that we have up, right? You see this typical performance bar here?
Yep.
And then you see the blue one? That's our
Yep.
current views. The titles, you go to details. Now, if you have vidIQ, you can get a plugin that allows you to just change the titles right in here.
Okay.
With AI, and then I can just click save. But you want to go for whatever seems the most enticing in these titles, right?
Right.
And so I was sharing this with Craig yesterday because I don't want to save this. I was sharing this with Craig yesterday because I was saying, if you have the time, right, and you're making content, if you see it sitting in that typical area, odds are your thumbnail or your description, your title are not working. People are not finding it because the
Meaning
typical
it's in
amount
that
means
clear area down below, not in the gray area where the point of the top point of the
no, the
blue
gray.
is.
I would say if you want to grow on YouTube, even the gray area is you should accept it, because that means you're doing your
No, that's what
typical
I mean,
results.
Matt, is in
Right.
other words, don't look at what's down in the bottom clear area.
I
Look
could
at
zoom in here.
Yeah,
Makes
look at
things a
what's
little
going
easier.
into the gray area as where you want to be or above it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
I can go.
it, isn't it?
I'll go to a short real quick. So you guys can see what one that did well looks like. So you can see that bar down there like doesn't exist, right? It just is blue all the way up. Now, I was sharing this with Craig the other day because there's one in here called "You Find Toyotas Everywhere." This short got like 2.9K views and 1 subscriber or whatever. If you look and zoom in right here, you'll see for the first, what was it? The first day, it didn't even do anything.
Right.
Like it got a little bit of views, but it didn't get the 2,000. I got like 40 to the typical amount. I went in and I just started changing the title, and then it went up a little bit, but not enough. Then I changed the title again. It went up a little bit, not enough. Then I changed the title again, went up more. Then I changed the title again, and then we got to the place that we wanted to be.
Wow.
So if you have the time, every hour, I would pop back into the analytics, check and see where that is. And if it's not in the place, go back to ChatGPT, copy a different one of these titles and change it.
Okay.
Because it might just be a title issue. And that's with shorts. With videos, you have to also deal with thumbnails, which you guys will probably see that we've changed a couple, just because we ourselves are messing around and going, what makes people click more on our videos, right? So
no, that's
it's
awesome.
always a process, you know. And
it's a game changer.
It is. Well, AI allows you to do the research and the development part yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you'd have to hire people to do these things. Like I'm sure Corky's dealt with this a lot, where you get people like, and we've dealt with this a lot, that people, they reach out to you and they go, you can blow up your YouTube channel. Like we can make it the SEO better and everything. And it's like, there's only 2 things that are going to make your YouTube channel a success: great content and great community. If you don't have those 2 things, then it won't become a success. Like any of the big ones you see, they've gotten better at content, and that requires you to make it. And then they've developed a community around that content that always shows up for it, right?
Yeah.
So then they can be like uncancelable.
Oh, there you go.
If they say something that's a group of people doesn't agree with, they still have their fan base there that's going to buy their stuff. It doesn't matter. So we're seeing that now more than ever, because I was like, we talked about this on the podcast about Kanye a little bit, because it's like, man, to be that awful and say all of those anti-Semitic things and everything, and then still have a #1 album and #1 songs. He's got a fan base that will show up no matter what. Now, I used to be a massive fan of Kanye's. So I still enjoy his music, but I don't agree with any of the things that he said. Right. So
yeah, I want the 2006 Kanye back with the college graduate.
Right. Exactly.
That's I like, but no, I'm excited because I've been dabbling a lot in health. Of course, me and James Saunders, know, we're MS warriors, and my thing is, I definitely want to help, and which I'm helping, cure multiple sclerosis. So this takes things to a whole nother level. So I'm excited. Man.
I think it'll help a lot with neurological stuff. Because one of the largest barriers to figuring out things like ALS or MS or
Parkinson's,
Alzheimer's, right? Yeah, that's where I was going. Those is exactly what I said earlier. The data set. So you get all this data, but how many neurologists in the world can read this data enough to develop cures for those diseases when the brain is so complex?
Yeah.
Right. But you train and you get a smart enough AI and you train it on billions of pieces of data, and you'll get answers a lot faster, sometimes in hours. So that's, as the technology gets smarter, they'll just take all of that data that we've gained on MS for all of these decades, especially as computers have existed, smash it all into the AI, and the AI will go, okay, this is the area that you need to be looking to fix it. Or these are the proteins that need to exist for the brain to rebuild or work in these areas.
Right.
And if that's not the answer, then the technology that we all put in our brains in 10 years will. So that will.
I'm going to be discussing this with my neurologist next time I have appointment. So no, man, thanks.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you too. Right. Please, when you do have that appointment, if you feel comfortable, I'd love to hear more about that on one of these. That stuff's fascinating. So,
I'll let you know. I appreciate you, Professor.
No problem. Thanks, Jerome.
Jerome, thank you.
No problem.
The new title for Matt, Professor Matthew Hollis.
It doesn't feel right, because I feel like I'm too young to be a professor. Is what
you're not.
I feel like you're calling me old. No, I'm just kidding.
No. What'd you say there, Sonny?
Yeah. Like I should have my PhD, and I'm like, running a whole course or something.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I'm thinking that PhD, pilot higher and deeper, is getting close to that.
It is becoming more and more difficult. It'll be interesting seeing how we feel about a world where someone without any degree or no college education changes the world with the technology that we have. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, okay, well, that's where we should focus. You'll just watch all of the brain power go over there. So it's the immediacy of competition changes stuff for people so fast, because they're like, hey, if me going to Harvard isn't going to give me a better up in what I want to do, then I ain't going to Harvard. I'm going to be working with GPT instead. So
I wouldn't be surprised if the Ivy League schools and any of the colleges right now aren't thinking that, especially with the way things are going.
Yeah. Well, I think that there's going to be a new process where they'll have to first they'll implement it right into the curriculum, and then it will get to the place where it'll be teaching the classes. Right? Oh yeah. And then people will ask, wait, why are we going to this building again? I'm confused.
If anything, it would be for community, but yeah, I mean, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, indulge me for just a moment, please. If you remember the Jetsons, I mean, a lot of the stuff that was in cartoons back in the 1960s and early 70s. Yes, Andy. Yeah, they are coming to fruition when you think about it, or even in Star Trek. Or like now, if you do listen to the podcast tomorrow, we did kind of bring this up too about shifting paradigms and how we've got to be open to things and be ready for not just what technology is sharing with us, but how it affects us psychologically and how it affects our philosophy on things. So,
No, very, very true. Like a lot of those science fiction shows now are starting to get eerily close to reality. And I am so optimistic and in the utopic idea, like a utopia with this technology. I do think that we'll have some growth spurts because humanity never has not when something new happens.
mm-hmm.
But the end of it will be nothing but bright, in my opinion, and it will be bright for a majority of humanity. So
It's a matter of adjusting to it and not fighting it.
right, it's like you ask for decades for a miracle, and then it starts to slowly appear, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, I'm starting to see going, okay, I want to have children as I get older with me and Hannah. So we always have that conversation of what school will they go to, and you know the conversations you have when you start thinking about having children.
Right.
You're like, what type of education do we want them to have? And then this last year and a half happens, and it's like, oh no, how am I going to guess what my 15-year-old's doing? I have no idea what my 15-year-old's going to be doing in 15 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I like Lisa Marie's comment here. It says, I thought about the Jetsons back in high school. And you know that there was a meme out that, I don't know if you've seen this or not. There's been a meme out where it shows things that the Jetsons have shown and that are actually true today. There's like, it's a 4-panel cartoon meme, and the teledoctor, the Zoom meetings, things like that. So yeah, it's coming around.
people are going crazy right now because office spaces are having a hard time getting businesses back in after COVID. And
Oh,
so you're seeing
absolutely.
whole downtown areas that are struggling because the businesses don't have anyone to feed anymore because no one's coming downtown to work. So then it's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, those businesses are going to close down, and then the buildings are going to close down. And um, you know, I think as the technology has adapted and gotten even better, it's like work from home is so. And I said this on the podcast yesterday, and you guys will hear me, but I really do feel like society in the future, even when you think of community, right,
Yeah.
is going to be messed with quite a bit because we're also seeing spatial computing and VR take off right now as well. So at some point, yes, it will be important to go outside, but you really won't have to unless if you want to, which seems very dystopian. But it's an interesting thing because I was talking about this on the podcast, which is the phones and social media have changed the way that we communicate and talk to one another,
Oh,
the way that we
absolutely.
deal with things. So imagine now wearing a spatial set of sunglasses that changes your reality from everyone else's. And you're communicating with an artificial intelligence in those glasses that's like your best friend that's talked to you and knows everything about you and is seeing everything you're seeing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
not only will that exist, but then it's like, well, what will that do to the rest of us in communicating with one another and interacting with one another? When right now you can have anything at your disposal with the internet. What happens when you can have connection and communication immediate with that too? Like loneliness will no longer be as big of a thing, but also the way that we interact with the real world will change. I'm sure some of you guys have seen some of the Apple stuff, right? With people walking around with the Vision Pro just touching the sky or something like that, right? Because they can go around now with these VR headsets and it's just going to get better and better. And I made the joke of, does everybody here remember when like those little Bluetooth headphones took off, like the collar ones? And you'd be like in the grocery store line at the checkout and you'd hear this person talking and you thought they were talking to you. And you're like, excuse me? And they're like, oh no, I'm talking to somebody else. That's just going to be everybody in the future because we're going to all be wearing this technology where we communicate with an AI and it'll be so commonplace that it won't be weird. Because just like with TikTok, right? Like I remember the moment that recording with your phone was weird, and people would like move out of the way because they would go, I don't want to be recorded on someone else's phone, or I don't want to be recorded in public. And now you watch someone do TikTok moves or doing a video in public, and you don't even bat an eye. You might point it out, but you're like, that's so normal to you now that someone would record things in public that you don't think about it. Right. And that's going to be AI. Like people they won't think about it as much. It'll just be something that we just talk to and work with everywhere. You walk into McDonald's to get food and it's already sitting there for you because you ordered it on your sunglasses on the walk there. You know, it was made by somebody else, or it was made by a robot sitting in there
And
doing
there's
it.
one that already is doing that right now at McDonald's.
Yeah, they're already testing that technology. So
yeah.
It's like it all feeds off one another. As AI grows, then robotics grow because the AI can train off the robotics data. And before we would build robots and put AI in them, and then they'd have to kick a soccer ball 1,000 times before they would kick it right. Right. But then we invented this new artificial intelligence, large language models, and now it can learn off data in a small set or in a computer. So now we don't have to build the robots to get it to kick the ball 1,000 times to learn. We just let it kick the ball artificially in the computer 1,000,000 times in a second. And then when it's put into the robot, it kicks the ball right, perfect the first time. So it's already done it 1,000,000 times. So that's the world that we're like living in the future. So when you guys see like robotics start to excel, that's because the training data now is using AI to train these robots. So now you're seeing robots exponentially start to walk like humans normally, or start to pick up things like humans normally. And that's going to get better and better. And then people that maybe couldn't walk because they have a disability or lost a limb, now will have the ability to have that, you know, in the very near future. They'll be able to have the ability to do those things. Or, you know, Jerome brought up curing diseases. There's a whole nother aspect to technology that also exists in artificially creating things to replace things that go bad, that we're also utilizing AI to create artificial organs like lungs and things that then you could go under surgery to have replaced. So you won't need donor programs anymore. And they'll just make the organs that you need, and then you'll go in and have them replaced. So,
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy. I've been to one of those places with sushi robots. Yeah, it's fun. You guys have never been to one of those ones where like the robot comes and takes your order? And they're in California, Kura sushi is what it's called.
Kura?
K-U-R-A, Kura.
K-U-R-A.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to look that one up. Okay,
Sorry for taking up so much time. I know I need to answer questions. I just get
Yep.
in dreamscape mode and start talking. So
Santa
where
Corky,
do I get that from?
Santa Corky, you're coming up. Sandy, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Okay, she took her hand down. I was because I was looking for it, and all of a sudden she disappeared. Go ahead, unmute yourself, Sandy, and please share with us.
Thank you.
Hey, Sandy.
First of all, again, hi, Matt. Thank you again so much for going over all this. I'm having so much fun creating all of these images. I am
Awesome.
finding out that I have to be extremely, very detailed for what I want.
Right.
So
Yep.
don't put in that sixth finger.
Right. Exactly.
My question is, you're talking about the new comment. Well, and I was trying to play with the Sarah, because I got logged on and I hadn't been on my computer today. So I logged on and I saw it and I went, oh my God, what is this? Where's this at? And I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was like, what the hell? And then you started talking about it. So I was like, okay, now I know more about it. But
Yeah.
you were talking about customizing it. So right now I do have my chat customized. And then when I'm teaching my 10-year-old granddaughter how to do stuff on there. So I take that
Oh,
out and
that's
put
great.
hers in there. So will I not have to do that anymore with 5, do you think? Or
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in the future, and they're looking at doing this, hopefully in the future, they'll have, I don't know why they don't have this already, but they should have family plans. Like they have team plans, but in the
okay.
future, I know that they'll have family plans. And if any of you guys are like on the fence of subscribing to the better version of GPT, know
Do
that
it.
not only should you do it because it's totally worth it, but that money is going to making the technology better, right? So it's like, it's not like it's just going to making someone wealthy, right? Like OpenAI is actually a private company that's making this technology better with the money that you're donating with your subscription. So it helps, right? But no, hopefully in the future with GPT-5, it will be so personalized to every person that it will already know that it's working with somebody else, which is a little weird to think, but that's where it will
Okay.
be, right? And that'll be
Okay.
the way that it will be everywhere too, by the way. You know, when you go to McDonald's, maybe if you don't have the sunglasses on and you have to talk to an AI, it'll be like, you know, hi Sandy, would you want the thing that you normally like to order?
Don't look at my eyes and get my ID. They
Oh
already do
yeah,
that.
it's
They already do that
right.
going through the Canadian border.
I mean, I don't want to get too crazy with it, but did you guys know there's already AI software that exists in businesses that do that?
Yes.
They're actually tracking not only the employees and how well they're doing, but it's also tracking the people that come in, who they are based off geolocation with their phones, and saying how often they've went to the restaurant and what they normally order. So we're already starting to get to that point where businesses now are starting to utilize the technology to go, how do we make the ordering process easier when people come in, right? It's like, great.
Right.
I know every single time Matt goes to McDonald's, he gets McNuggets because he's a weirdo. And so every time I go through, they're just waiting for me. That would be the way to go. But
That was my only, thank you so much. That was my only
Thank you,
question I had
Sandy.
because I was really concerned about, oh my God, how is she supposed to use this if it's going by my voice? So,
in the future, hopefully they'll have some type of family plan. But I think, you know, if I had children of my own, especially if they were at that age where they're like, you know, 10, just about to
mhm,
old enough to understand and comprehend what's going on, but they're like hungry for it, right? You're not like
mhm,
having to force them to use it. You know, I would have my kids attach to this stuff immediately because it's like even the dolly stuff, like making photos and everything, or
mhm.
coming up with a bedtime story or something. I would just figure out what they liked and get them connected to the technology as soon as possible, because it's like, imagine computers were invented and you're going, I don't really want my kid to learn how to use a computer. It's like, yeah, but they're
Right.
going to be everywhere eventually. So the sooner the better, right? And that's the way that I feel about it. Anybody here that has kids or grandkids, it's like, this technology might be scary, but it's also going to be everywhere. And it's also the future of what we're looking at here. So the sooner you can get them used to it, it won't be weird for them. Just like smartphones aren't weird for them, right? Touch devices aren't weird for them because they grew up with them. So it's like,
Right.
oh, this is easy for me. But so yeah, thanks, Sandy.
Right. All right. Thank you so much.
Sandy, thank you very much. And by the way, to answer the question Anthony posted, is there a place where we can get these inner circle sessions recorded to view on replay? Yes. Just go to Robert Hollis's channel. There should be a selection as you scroll down that page that says members only videos. And they are there. I'm looking at it right now. So
You want to share your screen and show us, Craig? Just so
yeah, give me a moment here
people
really
in the
quick.
replay even have the visual.
Yes. All right. So let me go to the top of the channel or the top of the page. Boom and boom. So here's Robert's channel. Scroll on down. There it is. Members only videos.
And if you click on membership on the far right on the top, does it go to it? You see on the bar there? Click that. That also should
This
show.
is what the membership tab looks like to members.
Yeah.
And guess
So if you
what
just
we
keep
see?
scrolling through there, you're going to see all of the replays plus a bunch of other stuff that we've shared with you guys. So
Yeah, in addition to the AMA stuff, there you see the breakthrough session stuff.
Right. Thanks, Craig.
So, thank you. And thank you for the question, Anthony, on that. Santa Corky, your hand is up. Guess what? Please unmute yourself and share with us.
Hey, Corky.
Hi there. Fascinated. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate it. Inner Circle, thank you for letting me be in here, and I appreciate you guys
Always.
so much. But Craig, this I kind of want to do in on this too, because Matthew.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
This is fascinating.
Isn't it? It's
fascinating.
exciting.
Well, it's just so weird. It's not weird. It's just the way God, the universe works for me anyway, daily. I was just in a meeting earlier today, and we're doing this book, a book, and then with a short film, we just starting to talk about it.
Cool.
The reason I wanted Craig in here is because the movie industry is really, really going bonkers. I wanted to get your spin on that, because I'm just tapping into some of them. Actually, this is what's really weird. There's a movie that they've already have the investors, they've got the money, they've got the budget, and working on it. And it's not a huge budget, but the author and asking me to do help them with promoting this, and they want me in the movie, and I'm competing with A-listers, and the only which is
Don't
A-lister
think
Santa,
about
so
that.
yeah, I know. Well, I do,
Yeah,
but
but don't. Anyways, go ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I'm really not competing because I don't, how can I compete with that? Their budget, I don't think my thing is their budget isn't big enough to hire those A-listers, is what I'm thinking. I don't know.
All right.
But with the movie industry being like it is, maybe they would take it because of,
It would depend.
Yeah.
It would depend.
Yeah.
If you want, here's just based on what you've just shared, my take on this is if you feel when you share yourself to them, when you go do an audition, and this is, I deal with this all the time. It doesn't matter how many credits you have. If I look at you, Corky, right now, and knowing what I know about you, I cannot see anybody else as Santa Corky. Okay? Right. Or just as Santa Claus, to be perfectly honest.
Wow.
Now, with that knowledge, someone's got to damn well impress me more than you to get that role. Because I am thinking of, at this moment, okay, I'm thinking of you in that role. Now, let's take that out of the equation. Let's say you're auditioning with several other Santas that are out there. How authentic are you as Santa in your sharing you to the casting director?
Oh, that's easy.
Okay. See, and here's the thing that you have, maybe, in fact, even more than any of the A-listers that are out there, in my opinion, okay? You embody the character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Your competition, if there's competition, is going to be the other Santas in your Santa group that are out there.
Yeah,
okay?
There's not many.
Exactly. Now, unless you're Edward Moldhair, I think that was Miracle on 34th Street. I don't think there's going to be, or Sir Ed Attenborough, who was in the other Miracle on 34th Street. It's a little hard to embody the character like you do. People come up to you all the time.
All the time.
So
I'm getting ready to go to Costco as soon as my wife gets going. Oh boy.
Yeah. But yeah, see, the bottom line though is, Corky, right. You feel the character. It comes from right here.
Yeah, totally.
And the best thing that you can do is be you, because you are who you are. And when you audition for roles that are that way, they want to see who you are, not you portraying Edward Moldhair.
Right, exactly. No, I couldn't. I have to be. Yeah, good point, Craig. Thank you.
That's great advice.
So, are you willing to do some coaching for me? Some acting coach?
Bring it. I'm ready.
Really?
Yes, I will help as much as I can.
They're talking, soon as they know a certain point, they said you're going to have a coach. So, do you have a coach yourself, or do you use?
I do.
Yeah, see, they say all of them have a coach, and
yeah,
I know this is probably way off topic for a lot of you.
This is what the inner circle is about.
I would like to see more different diversity of, different people coming in here. I support this so much. So when you did this, Matthew, I went, oh my gosh, I would like to have part of my team come in and watch this.
That's where we're going. We're honestly in the situation.
I wanted to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yes. So moving forward, we will still answer and work with people that want to use MDC as a vehicle, but at the same time, our goal moving forward is to actively promote unlimited wisdom and helping people succeed in what they want to do and helping them find that here.
Oh, good. Then I get
to be the
first one in that does that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where that's where we want it to be in the future as well. Like we've worked really hard around thinking of where we wanted this to go over the last year and a half. And then like magic, like you said, God, the universe just starts putting things in front of you and goes,
it's amazing.
The path is going to be there for a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people. So
It's all about vision. I can't believe what's happening. It's
me
all
too. Me
about
too.
vision for me.
I'm glad
Totally.
I get to share it with you guys. Like that's
Yeah.
awesome,
Oh, I'm
right?
telling you, when I sit down and I start, okay, what are they going to share about? Oh man, Robert's not here. Willie, and then you started talking, and I went, oh my gosh, this is huge. I would
It's so
hire you to
exciting.
speak to my team. My team, we're just starting to get some of this. We wrote a jingle, I mean, a shuffle. We're going to do a shuffle. We wanted,
Oh, cool.
I'm pretty sure because of the following I have on TikTok, we're going to come up with a shuffle. It's kind of a line dance shuffle with music because I have a music producer. Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
That's
this will
awesome.
be fun. The
Yeah.
Santa Shuffle.
That's great.
I have a music producer on the team now, and he's anyway, we're going to do a shuffle, and we want other creators to use this shuffle coming up to Christmas time, and also teaching their kids and teaching their whole thing on
That's
doing
very
this
smart.
Santa shuffle thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a cool team, man. I'm not kidding you. So then just kind of tapping in, and then when you popped on and started this, I went, oh my gosh, Matthew, this is just so perfect. And then it ties in with
Thank you, Corky.
Craig about the movie industry. I wanted to get that spin, but Craig, I would like to reach out to you and just pick your brain. And I just hate asking people,
Don't worry about it.
We're
here to help you
do stuff, but how can
Corky,
I help
that's
you?
why we're here. This is our community. This is our
Yeah.
inner circle. Okay?
I want people to know that. I get that because
Yeah.
I get people asking me all the time, how do you blow up on TikTok? Well, you got to be the purple cow out in the herd. You got to stand out. I stand
Right.
out. I'm just
Yes.
not normal. And I concentrate on background. I concentrate on the finer details to be that purple cow out there. Just, but Matthew, are you planning on doing some content, or
Yeah, no,
you can actually train on this, Matthew.
No, I know.
so
Yeah,
articulate. And
I know, and I appreciate that. That comes from like the years of having to train on a lot of things. But honestly, just like you embodying Santa, the goal and dream that I've had since I was a little kid is to do film and animation.
Right?
That's something that I do as a hobby and stuff, regardless of the marketing stuff. It's just marketing pays the bills a lot more than that did.
Right.
But as I've watched YouTube grow into becoming the new way people consume things, YouTube and TikTok, so short form and long form content, and I'm seeing advertisers start to get behind that even more than television, I'm seeing this shift happen. And as the technology goes in that direction, yeah, my plan is to create a lot of short films, a lot of feature length films using both animation, some AI tools, some actors, all different kinds of stuff like that. Like that's where my heart lies, right? So when I think about it, it's like, how do I get people into this community that also share that vision as well and work with them? And
I have a whole team that would be interested in. Would you like to maybe do something together on
I would love to.
Christmassy kind of thing to work on that?
I would love to
be a part of it because we're putting together. It's going to be North Pole Nation Productions now, and we're bringing.
I like that name.
In. Yeah, and
that's a good one.
Because there's the market is so big in the Christmas thing is getting, because of the movies that have recently come out, it's expanded people. That's why I started getting hired more to come to their house, or doing more commercials, or doing more stuff with corporate corporate showings and stuff like that. So it's just a huge market ready to pop, but there's not that many personalities that can get their attention. Let's say that there's a lot of Santas out there. Anyway.
Well, I think it's like what Craig was saying. They don't embody it.
2 million people, like to pay attention. Plus, we're growing stuff. But the thing is, what's really cool is once you have a team, I can just be the creator who I am. I can just be me. But then I have people now, a couple guys that, these guys are on fire on what we're doing, and they can do their thing, and together it's just huge. It's becoming.
That's the thing is, yes. And that's the thing that we want to do here too, as well.
My vision is coming true because I will be one of the more popular social media Santas out there. There are bigger.
I know it for a fact because it's in your, you're manifesting it. I've seen that consistently. And
Yeah.
I've seen even the times that you come on here and had conversations with my dad, that just like with me, right? So I'll have all of everything that I know about marketing that I've used to make money, web design, graphic design, copywriting, all of these things are done with AI. Like
Yeah.
my job is over with those. And then at
Right.
the same time, I'm seeing film, animation, game design, all these things that I have a passion in grow exponentially, and how easy they'll be to accomplish. And
Right.
I'm going, how is that not the universe or God smacking me in the face going, why aren't you paying attention? Like, this is the direction you're supposed to go in.
Yeah.
So
And I think I could
yeah,
help you give even more a foot in the door to get out there because of some of the connections I have and where we're going in that direction. Because what's happening is I've already had to deal with people wanting to take my AI image and do stuff,
Yeah, you guard
yeah,
that.
I've
right.
already had imposters come on TikTok, and it's a fake account where they've been able to hack AI and look like I'm live and get over
Right.
60,000 new followers, and they send them money and they send them stuff.
Yeah.
Now I
Yeah,
haven't seen it in a long time. Finally, I think TikTok's got a hold of that, but that's happening. So in the future, if we're to keep this, I need to make this my image. I mean, it is my image, but as far as what the technology you're talking about, will you be able will I be able to put my image in there? I mean, it sounds like it is.
Yeah. So
My image in the short stories, in the movies, in the whole deal.
Well,
yeah.
if you
So
remember Rogue One, the movie, the Star Wars movie,
Yeah.
okay, Peter Cushing, he's been gone for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he looked like he was right there. The only thing that was there was an actor who had a similar body.
Just
And
for
then
the
they
animation part.
Right. And then they put his face over it and they matched his voice. And if you closed your eyes and you didn't know this, you'd swear it was Peter Cushing, even though he
Right.
died 15 to 20 years ago
Yeah.
before they made that movie.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing.
no,
That's
they'll definitely, you'll be able to do that. I mean, you see the blue screen behind Craig. I have a green screen back here. What's so great about the technology is whether you want to actually act and be in it with the backgrounds, backdrops, like say you want to do something where you're at the North Pole, but you want it to be like a movie, right? Like really extravagant and well done.
right,
See, Craig's
right,
already in a different place now.
right.
But
I've done some of that with OBS.
yeah, so in
Yeah.
the future, that stuff, obviously the green screen aspect of it won't even be necessary because
Yeah.
AI is already getting at a place where it can tell who's human and what's not and cut
And
you out.
Zoom is already doing that too. You don't have to have the green screen. It's not as perfect, but if I turned off if I went to a whole different location, in fact, I think sometimes Lisa Marie's used it, and you see kind of her face slightly disappear because she's out of the frame
Right,
of the
right.
camera, which
Right.
means that the camera's not getting all of her face.
Right.
So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
the green screen. As long as see now, if I turned on the green screen more, my colors would disappear me right here
Right.
because this blue is
Fades in.
pretty close to that. So that's
Yeah,
the
you
only
will be
the only
able
thing
to
that you
see
got to
through
do.
you. We'll be able to see through you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it was
so-
funny. One day I actually did put on a blue shirt, and I'm
You're
just
just a
a
head.
talking head.
Floating head.
It's perfect.
That's how they do the Harry Potter movies when he's wearing the cloak of invisibility.
Right.
Right.
That's
But yeah,
amazing.
no, of course, Corky, that will be possible. Like we're actually, my goal over the next year is to not only establish a YouTube channel for the stuff that I'm creating, and I'll talk and have personality on that too, just like I do on here, outside of making films and short films and putting them on there. But I also plan on doing a move and actually getting a house this year and finding a studio space that we're going to rent out and build specifically for shooting things like this, because we want to do some of the characters with my dad, right? So like
Where's
if he
this
were
going
going
to
to do
be
the,
at? Do you know? Do you have a
it'll be
city?
in, it'll, so right now we're looking at Temecula, California.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
so it's about an hour outside of LA, hour and a half, I
Right. I
think.
love LA. I went there a couple times this year. It was just fascinating. But
Temecula is one of those nice places where it's like it's enough Montana-ish for me.
right,
Like rural enough, but
And
it's
right,
close
still
enough
yet
to all
within
the
reach.
cities
Yeah.
of San Diego
right,
and LA. So like if I
right,
need to get there, I can, but I could still, not have people all over me.
right,
I
right.
live in a part of California right now, Irvine, that's just,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh
it's the tech
He's
mecca.
stacked in a
I'm in
apartment
a
complex.
my complex has like 6 buildings and each building has 4 floors.
oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
it's a mini city I'm living in right now.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So
Well, that's exciting. Yeah, I want to talk to you about that, and maybe we could start doing some stuff like that to where you could get some credit for helping us build
I
some
would
stuff.
love that. I appreciate you
Seriously, thank
offering
you.
that because
Oh,
I also that's what we want this community to be, right? Like
uh-huh,
if there's somebody that's excelling in one area and
uh-huh.
someone else wants to do that, it that's what my dad's talks are all about, right? It's like find someone
Right,
that's documented
right,
and get the information from them and have them help you or tell you what direction to go. And
right,
I think that's when I see this growing. That's how we can support each other. Is it's
right.
like if someone else has an
Exactly.
idea, great. We
Yeah.
already have that studio space. If it is even a bigger idea or you need to be supported in a different direction, like I just see this growing and growing to the point where I have like a big ass studio space in
Right,
Temecula or somewhere in Southern California that you guys can come in if you need to use it or not, right? So
right.
Corky, if you know anything about the A24 production group or even Tyler Perry, okay, there's
Uh-huh.
another one. He uses a lot of the people that he knows. And
Yeah,
that's it. Scorsese is another one who
yeah.
is he's always got his core group that he will call on to do his
Right.
movies.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding out in this because I belong to a core group. They're not A-listers, but there's a lot of investors, producers in there that
mhm.
have been involved, and then there's some directors that have done. Like one of them's done that we're going to be involved with 25 different. A director that's done 25 different Christmas movies. So, but you're right. What they do, if you see Hallmark movies, those Santas you
Oh,
see,
that's another one. Yeah.
they're
Hallmark.
they're in that core group.
There
I
are
Mhm.
actors
I
that
that's
they
not
don't need to.
me. That's not me. I would
Yeah.
do it to put it on the resume, but they're
Right.
usually just way background, which is fine. I understand that, but their background is all. They're just
Yeah.
people,
But there are actors that work in the Hallmark universe.
Oh
That's all
yeah,
they do.
yeah. I
That's
was I
all.
was
Right.
I
Yeah.
was the Santa for Jen Lilly, which is a Hallmark actor, big actor, Jen Lilly, and the Hallmark stuff. And I was her Santa, and I did some stuff for her foundation. And I'm finding that I'm doing more and more stuff for foundations. So I'm connecting with cool
Well, that's the
people.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Like you're the cool thing about it is the more that you go in the direction that you're supposed to, and I've had this even in AI. I have communities outside of this one in AI that I'm heavily involved in. And it's so interesting as you start to give in to like the things that you feel like you're supposed to be doing, how people just start amassing around you,
Yeah,
right? To support you. And it makes it so much easier for you to support them. And everyone's kind of just supporting each other. And it's like,
yeah,
this is how things get done. This is like everyone shares a common goal, especially if
right.
it's a good
I
one. And then we all push it together, right?
I
And
had a
so,
producer, a writer, and a music,
Music director.
yeah, music director, all on my live last night, just having
that's
fun
cool.
because they're friends of mine now, and we were just having fun.
Hmm.
And now, they're part of the people that we're going to do it. And one of us is a pretty big investor. I mean,
That's
You know
so
what's
cool.
interesting? You bring that up, Corky, is that uh, from an actor's point of view, now many people are looking at uh, who follows you on social media. How many
oh yes,
followers do you have on social media? See,
yes,
and that would be a plus for you because of your big following on TikTok.
right. Yeah, I'm finding out more and more. It's amazing. Anyway, yeah. 2 million followers is pretty big clout, and I don't say
Just a
that
little bit,
to
yeah.
pat myself on the back by any means, because I give God the credit, the glory for doing that, and the changes He's made in my life, so I could bring that out totally. So just and Robert Hollis and you guys for helping me think about my vision and helping me with reading the right books and getting my head right. I mean, it all does come together. I mean, if you're 70 years old, get some 30-year-olds around you in technology.
I was sharing with Robert,
but have the drive and have the I'm not done. I'm not done.
No, please do not be.
Yeah,
I was sharing with Robert and Matt the other day. There's a formula I figured out.
Okay, cool.
A plus B plus C equals U.
A plus B plus C
plus C equals U. In other words, everything that you've accumulated through the years, A plus B plus C equals U. So A plus B plus C equals you where you are right now.
Exactly. Amazing. Okay,
thank you so much.
That's all I had. And I wanted to touch base, and wow, did I get more than I asked for? And thank you.
Well, thank you, Corky, for sharing with us too.
I will
congratulations
be in touch with
on
you,
all
Matthew. And, Craig.
Reach out anytime.
Absolutely, please do.
On Facebook, or I think if you don't have my contact information, I'll reach out to you. So.
Okay. Yeah, I can get it through your dad, I think.
Perfect.
And I'll
thank
reach
you guys.
out as well.
Thanks, Corky.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate
you, Inner Circle. Thank you so much. How exciting.
Yeah, Corky,
I don't have a lot of time left. I just realized Craig just reminded me it's 4:45 and it is date night and we're having sushi.
I took up some of
No. We're not. It's not till 6:30. I just have to get in the shower and get ready. So
okay.
I'm sure Lisa Marie, you will be in touch with Matt.
You guys get your VRs out. Get your VRs.
There you go.
Got to stay up on this stuff.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, thank you. And Matt, thank you. Wow.
Thank you guys.
We get to pick your brain today.
I was going to say next week, unless if there's insane, crazy changes in AI by next week, right? Where I have new stuff to share with you guys. Next week, we're going to be sitting down on the Inner Circle, at least in the beginning, with Lisa Marie, if she has the availability. And we're going to go through her YouTube channel. I'm going to give her some pointers and tips that might help all you guys out. She was kind enough to be like, hey, could I do this on the Inner Circle so everyone can learn off of what I'm doing? I was like, absolutely. So unfortunately, we didn't get to that today, but next week we'll get to that. So thank you guys so much for being on here. Thanks for supporting me and listening to me and asking the incredible questions you did. I'm going to throw it to Craig to finish it out and share everything else with you guys, but we'll see you on the AMA. And then the podcast comes out tomorrow at 1 Pacific. So.
And that title is Shift Your Paradigm, as we have said.
Right.
And it's kind of what we were talking about today, but we go into a lot more depth. So please join us for episode 3 of Shift Your of Unlimited Wisdom. And that's going to approximately 1 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, we're looking at I've been looking at maybe now scheduling it more in the evening, like 3. We'll see how it does, just because guess what? AI is telling me that's the best time to post. So
all right, well then
we've just been posting it at 1 just because everyone's used to it at 1. But we'll just post it by 1 tomorrow, but we'll probably change to 3 is what I'm saying.
Okay, please look for it, and please, as we had said earlier, share everything, like everything. It really does make a difference. It helps us to get the word out there to everyone, to all those that have ears that hear. So thank you, Lisa Marie, John Tier, Jerome Marshall, Sandy Baker, Santa Corky for participating. And Matt, wow. Thank you. Not only for being our executive producer, but being just an amazing person that we could pick your brain with today.
Well, I love seeing Corky with you with that stuff too. You know, like I appreciate what you shared, and for anyone else too. Like Greg's a wealth of information, just like I am, and just like we all are. Like we have the ability to share things with one another. And even seeing you, Craig, sit down with Corky and share that stuff, you share it from such a place of like love and care. And we all feel that. Like, I just wanted to say that before we got off of here, that, and you immediately is like, hey, can can I pick your brain some more? And you always jump on that with anyone in IC. Like I've seen you support so many people here outside of these calls. So can't express enough how much I appreciate you.
Bless you, my friend. And bless each and every one of you. We thank you so very much. And yes, as Matt has shared, please join us on Saturday for the AMAs, noon Pacific, and tomorrow for the podcast. And until next time, please be good to yourselves, be cash, and bye-bye. And I want to just go ahead and open it up so that we can all say so long. Thank you again.
Hey, you guys are amazing.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
thanks, Matt.
Thank you,
guys.
You're
All right,
amazing. You're
guys.
awesome.
Guys, thank you.
See
Thank
you.
you, guys.
That's great.
Love and appreciate you.
Yep.
Love and appreciate
Same
You
here.
guys are
Back at
awesome.
ya.
Thank
See
you.
you over the weekend. I hope you have a great weekend.
Have a great date night.
You
Thank you
too.
so much.
Bye.
Thanks,
Have a
Matt. Thanks,
fantastic weekend, everybody. And we'll see you soon.
Bye,
Very much.
everybody.
Matt.
Hey, take
Thanks,
care.
everyone. Be back.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.